Wisdom. Let us turn to my friend Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State. He is also a Fox News contributor, author of the book Never Give an Inch, Fighting for the America I Love, and he just called Teachers Union head Randi Weingarten the most dangerous person in the world. All right, Mike Pompeo, welcome. Calling Randi Weingarten the most dangerous person in the world, maybe your finest line ever. I wish I had thought of it. That's your finest line and your finest moment. But more importantly, tell us what you mean, because you're willing to debate her, as I read you in the New York Post today.
Well, Larry, thanks for having me on. I said it because it's true. Folks think of me as the Secretary of State and a former CIA director, but I'm a father who had a kid go through public high school. I taught fifth grade Sunday school. I saw what kids were being taught in our schools. And Randi Weingarten and the Teachers Union are singularly responsible for walking away from the things that matter most, teaching basic real history, civics, that America is the greatest nation in the history of civilization. Larry, when we walk away from those things, that the work that I did for the last 4 years with Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin and Chairman Kim, deterring them, none of it matters if we mess it up at home. And Randi Weingarten is responsible for making the lives of parents more difficult. She wants to take away their capacity to make sure their kids learn real things that are useful and productive and represent the finest things in America. And so she is indeed dangerous, and I think the American people can see it, and I hope we'll get a chance to talk about this so that we can begin to fix it.
Well, it's so important. I mean, you're spot on, Mike. I think you're absolutely right. You write in your op-ed piece in the New York Post, I mean, you've written this elsewhere and said this, all the math and science scores are coming down. We're losing ground. We're losing ground in China, for example. Randi Weingarten was kind of the queen of the school lockdowns, was she not? And we've now learned that the impact of the COVID school lockdowns for as long as all that, and they wanted it to be endless, had a devastating impact on the failure of kids to learn.
If she had her way, Larry, we'd still be in a lockdown. And then remember, it's Randi Weingarten who works with the White House, teachers unions that work with the White House to try and lock up parents who were just trying to make sure their kids got a decent education. And because of what she did, 2 years, Larry, of the kids' education is destroyed. It'll be the worst for the least amongst us, the kids who are in the toughest places in America. This is not what America was built upon. And I worry, if the republic should fall, it almost certainly will fall from within. And it'll be because the teachers unions and their desire to not compete with schools, charter schools, choice schools, homeschoolers, their desire to create a union cartel with teachers who just really want to teach the basics is destroying the things that have made America so special.
And Mike, what about, you mentioned this in your article, all the crap that the teachers unions are imposing. I mean, you talk about critical race theory. You know, you have oppressed and the oppressors. The oppressors are all white. The oppressed are all black or people of color. It's like a Marxist critique. Critical race theory, crazy sex and gender ID. Also, the 1619 Project, I think it came out of the New York Times or wherever. America's a bad place. The founders are bad people. They're only a bunch of racists. I mean, what about all that crap? Where did that come from?
Oh, goodness. This comes from the radical left, the progressive left that's been working to infiltrate our schools for 40, 50 years, Larry. Randi Weingarten's been around for most of it. All of this happened. These scores that I talk about in the piece that I wrote, the absence of learning, the fact that kids don't know that there's 3 branches of government, basic civics, can't pass citizenship tests for the United States. These are things that Randi Weingarten is responsible for because of the process she drove into our schools. And you went through all the wokeism that's now been put there. We should teach our kids how to do arithmetic and how to read and to enjoy learning and logic, the things that will benefit our economy that you were just talking about with Steve Forbes, things that will benefit these kids for their lives. They'll be able to raise their families too. Instead, we're trying to indoctrinate them, not educate them. That is dangerous. Randi Weingarten is responsible for a lot of it, especially there in New York. We need to fix it. We need American schools teaching our kids the things that matter. And we can't be teaching the next generation that this isn't a great country. The Chinese, the Russians, they all want to think that they want to tell us that America is in decline. And if we walk away from the things that have built this nation, it will in fact be. We can't let it happen, Larry.
And America is an exceptional country, as you write, and they're perverting that history. Last one, Mike Pompeo, I mean, as I read you, there are many solutions here, but school choice, parental involvement and school choice would be among the key positive solutions. Is that right?
There are a few things, Larry, you know this. There are a few things that competition doesn't improve, and that is certainly true for educating our children as well. That should be private schools and public schools and religiously affiliated schools, parents that decide they want to teach their kids at home, all of those places where parents have the option to make sure their kids get the best opportunity so that they too can have wonderful, productive lives in America. Those are the things that will fix where we're at. Cartel-based unions who want to have one-size-fits-all for our kids, they will continue to fail America.
Terrific stuff, my friend, Secretary Mike Pompeo. Really terrific stuff.
Thank you, Larry. Great to be with you today.
You betcha. Talk soon.